Okay, so I'm launching my drone to fly to the canyon. This is my first attempt to fly to the canyon with this new DJI Mini 2. It'll give me a good idea of its range and functionality along this path, and also the camera quality, which so far as you can see, it's just beautiful. When I launched the drone, I climbed to about 300 feet and put it in sport mode, which allows the drone to fly at about 35 miles per hour. And I sent it to the canyon. And on the way to the canyon, I noticed a warning on my controller telling me that there are high winds. This is something I never got from my Mavic Pro. So these smaller drones definitely have more of an issue with wind. In fact, it even gave me a notification telling me that the drone would not be able to fly back on its own. So I figured, well, maybe I should turn around and come back. And then I noticed that my controller was losing signal at about the same point here. And so I turned around and stopped it, reoriented myself to get a more straight path to my drone, and then told the drone, once I could reconnect the controller, to come on back home. I just controlled it myself, but basically what happens is when your controller loses signal to your drone, it can do a couple different things. Well, I guess three really. One, it can return to home. Two, it can hover and just wait until you reconnect. Or three, it can land, right? So it's programmed to return to home, but if it can't do that, then it will just hover. And then I will reposition myself to where I can reconnect and then bring the drone home, which is what I did here. So I've noticed that I can't fly it as far as I flew my Mavic Pro, and it does have issues with the wind. Also, I had seen a new setting in this one where I can have the camera follow the positioning of the drone. It basically means it locks to the drone instead of using the gimbal to keep everything cinematic, right? So that's why you're seeing the tilt of the camera, because when I turn it, the camera follows the drone's path. I'm going to change that and put it back to the way I used to have my other drone, where the gimbal just kept it nice and flat. But this was my first flight, and I'm going to stop right above my house and then just do a 360-degree turn around the house so you can see the area. And you can see it's about to rain, so I wanted to get this flight done before that happened. But this is just going to give you a good view of the mountains and the sky and the landscape, and it's just beautiful up here. Okay, so now I will go ahead and bring it in for a landing. You will see here that I am grinning from ear to ear because these drones are so cool. I'm going to go ahead and land it right on the table, right in front of me. I'm not actually talking to the drone here. I'm doing this because I knew I would be editing the video and adding some narration to it before uploading it to YouTube. This concludes the first flight of the DJI Mini 2.